Welcome back to our Money Rocks, but welcome to our new panelists, Ross Mandell. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you.
Okay, two former Planned Parenthood employees are on the corruption hunt in a case now pending in federal court. The whistleblowers accuse the organization of millions of dollars in overbilling to state and federal governments. Welcome, Walter Weber, attorney representing one of the whistleblowers in the case. Thanks for joining us, Walter. I read the story. I couldn't believe it. First of all, they were billing the government sometimes 4, 5, 6, 7 times what it was actually costing them for abortion pills and other medications and things like that. Is that right?
It was a pretty substantial markup on things like Plan B, birth control pills, and so forth.
And we're talking millions and millions of dollars. Is that right?
Yes, the complaint estimates some $180 million in overbilling over a 6-year period.
Now,
and that's in California.
Mr. Weber, we did a little research and we found that between the years 2002 and 2008, there's some $1.8 billion handed over to Planned Parenthood. And the issue became when the government went to them and said, hey, by the way, what are you spending this money on? They refused, or they've chosen not to tell the government how they're spending it?
I'm not familiar with that particular question, but I do know that they've taken an awful lot of government money.
They're taking a lot of government. I'm going to bring it out to the panel. And here's the question I had immediately when I heard this. First of all, Planned Parenthood, let's call it what it is. It's a political organization, right? Mm-hmm. Second question, if they're able to steal from the government, you imagine what a $2 or $3 trillion health care bill, how much fraud, waste, and abuse is going to go on with that?
Exactly. The more we transfer our public healthcare system from the private sector to the public sector, the more cases of fraud we're going to see going forward. Unfortunately, though, in the private sector, if someone pulls a stunt like this, the shareholders can leave. It's on the backs of the shareholders. Here, it's on the backs of the U.S. taxpayers.
Go ahead. You're shaking your head.
No, I was just in the hospital for minor surgery about a few months ago, and the hospital charged my insurance company $24,000 for 1-day stay. It was a very minor operation. This kind of bilking happens all the time where people overcharge. It happens in every industry. I don't think Planned Parenthood, frankly, I think they're charging less than private insurance companies.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Go ahead.
First of all, Eric, if you look at the statute that entitles a private citizen to sue, it's a wonderful thing. This whole whistleblower statute, it really gives an incentive to anybody who looks and finds waste and fraud and mismanagement with federal money. Because
let me get Russ in here. Go ahead, Russ. Mark's point is, well, they're stealing, but they're not stealing quite as much as the insurance company, so it's okay.
They're stealing like crazy, and the worst part of the whole thing is the federal government is just handing out the money. There's really no oversight. This is our money. This is taxpayer money. It belongs to us and our children and our future. We're sitting with a $10 trillion deficit, and the government's just handing money. And like you just said, Eric, Planned Parenthood is grabbing $5 million excess in just one center. Imagine these multi-billion-dollar companies. They're walking it out the front door.
None of these allegations are proven.
Here's the difference.
Very, very clear. They're just allegations.
It's common knowledge this sort of abuse is going on.
Hold on. Here's the difference, Levine. When the insurance company bills your whoever $24,000, or the hospital bills your insurance company $24,000, and the government says, hey, what did you just do? They have to turn over documents. There have been 31 occasions by U.S. senators and representatives asking Planned Parenthood for documents explaining where they're spending the money. Joey,
I'm for everyone turning over documents. I'm for everyone.
All right.
But it's Pentagon or healthcare. Absolutely. You get money from the government, turn over documents.
But, Eric, they will have to turn over documents now because there's a lawsuit in effect, and as a result of that, there's something called discovery. And what does that mean? It means you're allowed to discover the items that are at issue.
We'll find out.
Well, let me ask you, Mr. Weber, have you gotten any discovery? Have you gotten any of the documents from Planned Parenthood?
We haven't gotten to the discovery yet, but I was going to weigh in on the point about oversight. In this case, the state of California did an audit. They announced that they were going to audit all 10 affiliates of Planned Parenthood in California.
All right.
Planned Parenthood immediately hit the squawk button, got all the audits stopped except for one. That one audit found $5 million in overbilling, and the state of California said, well, that's okay, you don't have to pay us.
You know
so much for oversight.
Mr. Weber, we're going to have to let you go because we're going to lose a satellite. It's called a hard out. I hate to do that. Thank you, Walter Weber. We're going to stay on this. We're going to bring more Planned Parenthood corruption, crime, cronyism, whatever you want to call it. We're going to stay on it next week. But more of our exclusive look into the 9/11 Memorial Museum coming up next.